What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? We back live. What's going on, baby? This is the mental health webinars, the Freedom Fighters mental health webinars. Welcome back. We appreciate you guys joining us. Hold on, let me bring up Facebook to see who we got in the building. Who do we have in here? D Scott in the back on the ones and twos again. I need him to give me a little help. There we go. Need him to give me a little help on telling me who's in the building. You know what I mean? Bringing it up on screen. So we appreciate everybody joining us. Whoever's in the comments, whoever's in the building, get down in the comments and tell us where you're from, where you're joining us from, and how you heard of the Freedom Finders. So go ahead and let us know. So welcome, like I said, welcome back to the Freedom Finders mental health webinars, where it is all right to get your mind right. I promise you, it is all right to get your mind right. That is the slogan for Mental Health Awareness Month. And to recap our last session number 1, we had our main guy, Josh Posey, man. He's a beast in this mental health space. He just came and talked to us about, the struggles that we go through as young black men in this world, man. It's a lot of them, but the thing about it is we have so many tools out here, and we have so many things in this life to overcome those struggles, man. So that's what we talk about. We got real vulnerable on here. Some tears almost started flowing. That's how it happens, man. That's how healing and that's how growth happens. So go ahead and check out last week's episode, man. It's up on our page. You might as well go ahead and help us out, get them views up, put a like and put a share on that thing. We appreciate y'all. So who all is in the building? I see we got a couple people. We say we got D Scott in the building. What's going on, dog? What's going on? Come on now, I gotta get my little singing in. But gotta get my little singing in. But let's go ahead and get started. So first and foremost, we're doing these mental health webinars just to spread awareness that it's all right to get your mind right. Let me go ahead and say the slogan one more time, that it is all right to get your mind right. I promise you it is. This is so important because people, especially in our community, people who look like me, you know what I mean? We don't understand that how important getting your mind right is. Getting your mind right can save you from high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, all that. It starts with your mind. If you're all depressed and you all have you don't have your mental right, that wears on your body. So that's what we're doing this for. So, hey, man, we love it and we appreciate everyone joining us. Let's see who else we got in the building. Hey, we got Terilyn Hoke in the building. What's going on, mama? That's my mama right there. That's my mama right there. What's going on? So first and foremost, let me tell y'all a little story of how I started therapy. So this is circa 2018, 2019, I think. I was in Atlanta. Life was so amazing. It didn't feel like it, but life just felt like it was amazing. I just moved down there. I got a $30,000 raise, got a new job, paid me $30,000 more dollars on top of the money I'm already getting paid. Life is just amazing. I feel like I can buy whatever I want. I feel like I can do whatever I feel like doing. But I still felt empty inside. Like every time I bought something, it got me all right for that day. It gave me that high for that day. But afterwards, I still felt empty. I didn't even want to leave the house. Unless I was going to work or something. Unless I was just going to my grandma's house or something. Didn't want to leave the house. I just didn't feel good. And I had no idea why. I felt like my life should have been amazing. I should be the happiest person in the world that God was blessing me like this. But I didn't feel that way. So what I did was like, man, something has to give. I can't have this great life. And it feels like I'm being ungrateful about it. So what I did was I just started, like, I asked one of my friends, I was like, man, I need to talk to somebody. I need to go to therapy. I need to do something. I never knew about therapy before this time because in our community, we don't talk about this. So I never knew about anything about this topic until I asked my friend, hey man, I might need to go to therapy. I need to talk about this because life is too good for me to just feel like this for no reason. What's going on? There has to be a reason for this. And she told me, just go see a therapist, search around. I got somebody for you actually. And she put me on to my therapist that I have now. And it was the greatest decision of my life that I've ever made. The greatest decision in my life. was to get my mind right and figure out what was going on in my mind, figure out my emotions and why I feel these things. Because when you feel these things and you don't know why, you feel like you're weak. You feel like you're soft. You're like, man, I just need to snap out of it. Like, what's going on with me? I'm not this way. I'm better than this. Yes, you are better than this. You're better than this once you know what's going on. And then you can attack it and then you can conquer it. So that is the story about me first starting therapy. And that is what I hope that just motivated everyone, single one of you that's watching to go ahead and start get therapy and get your mind right. I'm telling you, it's the most important thing in this life is getting your mind right. You can work out all every day of the year, every hour of the day. If your mind ain't right, you still gonna be lost. You can get all the money in the world. If your mind ain't right, you still gonna be lost and you still not gonna be happy. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. So speaking of therapy, we got actually she is my therapist. I know we can't go too much into what we talk about, you know what I mean, medical law, and I don't know all the technical terms about that. But let's go ahead and bring into the show Miss licensed professional counselor. That's how you say it. Yep, mental health specialist, Miss Anisha Cooper. Welcome to the show. Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. How are you today, Miss
Thank
Anisha?
you. Thank you so much. You are so sweet. I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
really well. I'm doing really well, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to get to the topics, man. I really am.
Yes, ma'am. I love it. And we appreciate you being here, taking time out of your busy schedule. You a
You
business
know
owner,
what?
you got all these things going for yourself, and you took time out for little old us. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
Of
Thank you, kindly.
course. I had to. So forgive me. I'm in the middle of moving. Y'all gonna get this backdrop just how it is. But
It's all good.
yes, I appreciate you. So you want me to tell them a little bit about what I do and what I'm about?
That's it. That was my first question. Go ahead and tell us more about yourself, what you
Yeah.
do, how you got into the mental health space, the mental health field. Just tell us everything. We need it all.
Absolutely. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was initially in school for medical. I wanted to be a biologist, and then I wanted to be a doctor. But what I realized, very similarly to you, was that I wasn't actually happy. I was like, who told me that I wanted to be a doctor? And why do I have
Mm-hmm.
to be a doctor in this way? So I changed my focus, and I shifted it to therapy, and I went to get my master's in therapy because I realized I wasn't happy with what I was doing, and I needed to get a change. So that's what I did. I'm still in school now. I'm getting my PhD in counselor education. Therapy is something we don't talk about enough, and I realized that I wanted to really help people see that people that look like us have
Mm-hmm.
concerns as well. We have things we want to talk about too. So
That's it.
that's how I got here. I'm so passionate about it. I've been doing therapy for about 7 years now, and I mostly focus on working with Black and people of color and working through trauma, any type of trauma. And it doesn't have to be traditional trauma, it can be whatever is traumatic to you. Sometimes it's, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what makes me happy. That can be traumatic for some people. So it depends. And that's where I started, and I'm here now. Just,
Yes.
I'm so excited.
I love it. Miss Anisha is the best. She is actually she's seen my growth. My growth has been extremely monumental, and I owe most of that to Miss Anisha. I did a little bit. You know what I mean? I did a
I
little
don't,
bit. I owe
I
most of it. I did a
disagree.
little. I did a little bit. You know what I mean? I did a little bit. I owe most of that to Miss Anisha. So
I
hey,
disagree. You've done so. You do the work. You do the work. You
yes,
do it.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's get started. So my first question for you is, what is your advice for people who want to start therapy? So like I said in my introduction and in my thing, it's really like, because one, people don't know about it, especially people who look
Mm-hmm.
like us. They don't know that it is a viable option. They see the they see things on TV. There's stigmas around mental illness and your mind, and they don't want to be labeled as crazy or be labeled as anything. So what advice do you give to people who think that way?
I let them know right off bat that it is okay to ask for help, right off back, and something that you have to look for when you're looking for a therapist is, can I connect to this person? What am I actually looking for? Check, really take inventory of what are you actually seeking help about. You can get somebody who specializes in what you specifically are looking for, and also think
Mm-hmm.
about what kind of person do I want to connect with. Some people want a certain gender, some people want a certain race, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with saying
Mm-hmm.
that, but if you don't say that and you don't actually look for that, then you're not going to get the atmosphere, the environment that you're seeking to open yourself up. You want to create an environment where you feel comfortable being vulnerable, and that's so
Mm-hmm.
important. So when you're looking for a therapist, take an inventory. What am I seeking, and who can I talk to about it? Who do I want to talk to about it?
Mm-hmm. That's it right there. And that is the very thing that I thought about. My main issue was, controlling my emotions and being open and vulnerable to women. So I decided, go ahead, since I love me some black women, let me get a black woman to learn my emotions from so I can go ahead and love black women better. This
Yeah.
is exactly what I thought. This is exactly what I thought in my heart. I told Miss Anisha this before. This is exactly what I said. I was like, man, I got to give me a woman so I can learn my emotions better. I mean, so
Yeah.
you gotta look at who makes you the just like you said, makes you the most vulnerable, who you feel the most comfortable with, and go with them.
Yeah, yeah, you really do, and it's, thank you for telling that story out
Mm-hmm.
loud, because people sometimes don't realize, sometimes the thing that's challenging you is the very thing that you have to go toward so
Come
you
on,
can
come on,
break through that challenge. So
come on.
I
That's it.
appreciate you sharing that. Some people won't say that out loud, and it's so important that you help break the stigma, that we help break the stigma and help people
Mm-hmm.
get what they need.
The thing about it is when you're finally to the point where you don't want to feel like this anymore, whatever is the solution, that was me, whatever the solution is, and I felt it really in my heart. I was like, man, I have the most problem with women, so let me go ahead and talk through my emotions with a woman and get more comfortable doing that. So in my real
Yeah,
life, I'm more comfortable. I can be more vulnerable with them. That just sounds like it to me. It sounded like common sense. To me, it was just like, man, hey,
yeah.
why why not do that? Because the thing about it is, younger Chris Harley. I'm sorry, younger Chris Harley wouldn't have thought that way. He would have thought that
Yeah.
was extremely soft and extremely weak. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But the lower you get and the more depressed and the more down that you get, you're just like, okay, forget all that. I just don't want to feel like this no more.
Hmm.
Whatever
Hmm.
answer is there, whatever thing that I need to go to, I need to go to it. Forget all these
Right.
stigmas, forget all this everything. And that's what I should have done from the start because that's the right thing.
Mhm.
I mean, that
Mhm.
that's 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 it. That's it. So Miss
Yeah.
Nisha, yeah, go ahead.
No, that just made me think of, sometimes people go to therapy thinking that everything is going to get better, not realizing that therapy is not only about helping you make things better, but also how to handle when things aren't. Because life is going to
There it
be
is.
lifey regardless. Life is going
Mm-hmm.
to be lifey regardless. But do you have the tools to cope and to adapt with what those life changes will bring? You're not ever, never, ever going to not feel sad.
Right.
You're not ever, ever gonna not feel upset about something. But can you deal with that in a way that's mature, that has integrity, that has your character in mind?
That's it. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Can you deal with those tough times and how to deal with it? That's what therapy is about. Appreciate that, Miss
Yeah.
Anisha. Um next, so let's talk about your mental health journey. Do you still go to therapy? Do you have a therapist? I know the answer to
Absolutely.
this.
I
Hey, there
saw
we
her.
go.
I
Hmm.
saw her today. I saw her
There we
today.
go.
Yes, I have a therapist that I see
Hmm.
bi-weekly. I love her. She, we joke in the therapy community that therapists are the worst clients. It's just like doctors. Doctors can be
Hmm.
the worst patients, because part of me continue to go to therapy is to make sure I stay humble, make sure that I stay ready to grow.
Hmm.
Because sometimes getting comfortable means that you don't want to grow anymore. And so I go to therapy
Come
to make
on,
sure that
speak
I
it.
can stay healthy for my clients and for
Speak it.
myself. Don't get me wrong. It's for me
There
too.
we go. Hmm.
It's for me.
And we definitely appreciate that from you, Miss Anisha. You preaching over there. Like I
Yes.
tell you almost every session, I ain't got the collection plate for you. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
You pay your tab. You pay your tab.
You daggone right I do. You daggone right I do. All right. And my next question for you, let's let's switch gears a little bit to when you see a friend struggling, you see a family member struggling, and you just don't know what to do. You know it's happening. You know something's going on with it, but you don't know how to talk to them. You don't know how to really get through to them that you care and that you're there
Hmm.
for them. What advice do you give someone that is worried about a relative or a friend?
Oh, this is real life. What I really say is to make sure that you're stepping to the person in love. Hey, I care about you, and I'm noticing that you're not yourself. I'm noticing that you've been down lately. Making sure that you put that piece of this isn't to attack you or to make you feel small. This is because I
Mm-hmm.
love you. I care about you. And then if you can provide resources. You can do your own research on what therapists are available, what resources in the area, what groups. It doesn't always have to look like talk therapy. That's so important, but sometimes the
Yep.
step might be groups, outings. It might be books. It might be different resources in that form that you can offer to them. But
Mm-hmm.
eventually, you also want to add therapy to that. But baby steps sometimes into that can help people open up more to the idea of talking to somebody else. So just remember, one, what is your capacity? One of the groups I'm in always talks about what is your capacity. Do not overextend yourself to
Mm-hmm.
prevent a loved one from taking their own journey. You have to take a look and say, do I have time, energy, and the resources to support them? Okay, I do. Great. These are the resources that I can offer to support them. Once you do that, you've done what you could. So you can
Mm-hmm.
talk to someone else to help intervene, or you can talk to someone else to help intervene on your behalf. That's a professional. So each state has a crisis line that they can contact, and you can check in on your local state crisis line. Whatever your state enter in, Georgia crisis line, Indiana crisis line, whatever your
Mm-hmm.
state is, check that out.
Got you, got you. And something else you said right there on the different types of therapy. Could you tell me more about some of the different types? Because like you said, you don't want to I don't know if you said it this way, but you don't want to overextend yourself at first. You want to do what you're comfortable with when you're starting therapy. I'm talking about as the individual. You want to do what you're comfortable with and what's going to be the most effective for you. So what are
Mm-hmm.
the different types of therapy and different types of counseling that people can go to so they don't feel the pressure of just you in the room with somebody just one on one and they're like, tell me about yourself, and then you just stuck. So what are other ways that people can feel comfortable in therapy?
Therapy. So there's EMDR is another form of therapy where you there's not a lot of talking involved. You do an assessment, and it's called eye movement desensitization, rapid desensitization. I might be
Mm-hmm.
butchering that a little bit, but EMDR therapy is not something that you have to talk your way through. It is something that they use stimuli to help repro. It sounds a lot sillier when I say it out loud, but it's helping you
It's all good.
reprogram traumatic memories.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really beautiful treatment that some of my clients who couldn't talk through their stuff, they could go and get the stimuli that helps move their eyes, and that's their
Mm-hmm.
therapy for the week. So you can look up different forms. There's couples therapy, there's talk therapy, there's also therapy with outings. There could be horseback riding, equestrian, you can do swimming. There's literally anything, any outing that you can think of. There's a
Mm-hmm.
therapeutic effort that can be attached to.
Wow. Oh, did we lose Miss Nisha? She's still there? I don't know. I don't know if she's gone or not. But hey, she'll get back on. Miss Anisha, if you hear me, go ahead and drop back off and then get right back on. But as she was talking, what really stuck to me is like that all of those things can be therapeutic. What I really need to focus on is when I'm in a relationship, when I'm trying to grow with a woman, we need to go to couples counseling. Even when things is and all peachy and all everything, we need to go ahead and go to couples counseling and really get and really get our issues worked out. Well, she's back. What's going on, Miss Anisha? We can see you. Oh, I guess we can't. But like I was saying, I really need to make that decision and be more vulnerable, because you can talk one on one with your therapist about your partner, but right when but when your partner's right there and y'all talking together, that's another level of vulnerability, saying saying what's wrong, saying what you
Mhm.
don't like about that person, saying like, hey, I feel in this area you need to get better. A therapist can help y'all have those conversations with each other, those necessary conversations with each other. So I was just, when you got back on, I was talking about how I need to go to couples therapy when I have, I'm in a relationship, that's one thing that I have to get better on. Because, you know what I mean? When you with somebody, you never know what level of vulnerability and level of communication they're on. So y'all need to get on the same page. It's something that's
Exactly.
real. That's real deal.
No, that's exactly. Please, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many different forms of therapy. Family therapy is another one. A
Yes.
lot of people don't realize that you don't have to go by yourselves. If you got somebody that's willing to go with you and y'all need therapy, y'all might can do both, family and
Mm-hmm.
individual. So just looking at what you need and what you want to take from therapy first, you can start to uh create some type of priority in what do I need to get at first. A lot of times I
Mm-hmm.
suggest individual therapy, and the better that you can, or the healthier you can get, you can bring a lot more to a couple sessions. You can bring a lot more to your family session because you've been really focused on how you can improve.
There it is. There it is. Be that leader in your family. Be that, like I said, be that leader in your family that gets everybody to get their mind right. It's all right. It can be on you. God probably called you to do that. You're on this webinar right now. You're on this session 2 on what's today? May 13th, 2021. You're on this right now so you could be the leader in your family and go get everybody in your family mind right, man. That's what it is. That's what it is. God called you to do that. So let's
Mm-hmm.
what I mean, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's go back to what we were talking about earlier with, the stigmas of mental health. Could you tell us why in our community it's so hard for people to talk about what we go through in our mind? Why is it so hard to do that?
Well, honestly, there's such a long history of why it's hard for us to talk about it. It's
Mhm.
I hate to start anything with black folks with slavery, but a lot of this mentality was
It's just the fact.
exacerbated.
Hmm.
It is. It is. And so talking about something that you couldn't do usually meant that you couldn't, it usually meant your survival, your life. You can't come, can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You still
Oh,
good.
okay, perfect.
Hmm.
Okay. So you admitting that you need help in any form was tied to your survival, was also tied to your ability to stay close to your family. And that is passed on over and over again. You had to keep these things secretive. If somebody needed extra
Hmm.
help, if somebody needed additional resources, you weren't a good investment for the master.
Yep.
And so you could be ripped from your family. So instead, we kept it on the low. We kept it on a hush. So everybody could stay together. And that's part of that psyche, that mentality, that generational trauma just passed over and over and over again. We have got to break that cycle of keeping things secretive because secrets will stress you and kill you.
That's it. That's it. That's why I talked about it in the intro. Said that secrets will stress you. When your mind isn't right, when something is holding you and weighing you down, that weighs your body down and causes
It
stress,
really does.
physical stress on your body. So I mean,
There's
so
a
so
book.
Mm-hmm.
There's a book for that. The Body Keeps the Score is a really good book.
Okay. All right.
And When the Body Says No. Both of those books talk about the stress and mental health connection that show up in your body, how it affects your heartbeat, how it affects your gut processing food. There's a literal science to how stress affects you.
That's it. That's it. So if anybody else has any questions, anybody in the comments has any questions, come on and ask what you have for Miss Anisha. Miss Anisha Cooper. We appreciate you coming. I'm telling you, I appreciate it. You didn't have to take
Of
the time out your
course.
busy schedule to do it. I promise you, you did not. Thank you so much. So
Of course.
I got another one for you. How do you push people to start therapy in the right way when they don't want
Ooh, that's so sticky because you
to?
can't.
So, matter of factly, you just can't. Okay.
You cannot make somebody want something more than you more for you can't want something more than somebody wants it for themselves. That's what I'm getting
Hmm.
at. What you
Got you.
can do is once you provide the resources, it's not about forcing people. You have to help people be empowered. I can't make this decision for you. You have to step to the plate, and that is so difficult because the way that they step to therapy will be very similar to what they get out of therapy. You know what I mean?
There you
Clients I
go.
sat across from, and they're like, "I don't want to be here, but blah 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 say I should come." Okay,
Oh man, waste of money.
so tell me how you want me to help.
Right.
What?
And I
Because
would
they don't want to be
Mhm.
there.
Exactly. And I don't understand people who do that, who just waste money, go in there and lie to their therapist. They can. The thing is, some people can want to be there, and then just go in and lie and hear somebody validate them instead of getting better.
Right.
Accountability is all right, you guys. I promise you, accountability is all right.
I love it.
You can be accountable for yourself and you know what I mean and get your mind right. So we got a question in the comments for you by Mr. AD Anthony Davis. He got his professional tie on today. When you see him
I
in the streets,
see.
his name is Dizzle. But my guy, my my guy AD, he said, what should someone expect from a therapy session? All I know is what I've seen on TV. Haven't heard a ton because I don't talk about it.
Okay. So in the very first therapy session, you can expect somebody to go over their expectations of you. A lot of times when we start a relationship, any type of relationship, we don't go over what are those expectations, except in a job. You get there and they
Mhm.
go, "Here's a manual. You might read it, you might not read it, but you have an idea of what you're expected to do at the job." The same is true for therapy. We are being very explicit, very specific about this is what I expect of you as my client. I expect you to show up on time. I expect you to let me know if you can. I expect that you pay your tab, that you do the
Mhm.
homework, and you tell me, all right, Anisha, well, I expect you to help me solve or help me resolve depression symptoms, anxiety symptoms, and I'd like to come every other week. So the very first session is really about going over expectations, about going over time frames. All right, some therapy sessions can be an hour long. Most of my therapy sessions are between 50 and 60 minutes, but some therapists do 45-minute sessions, 30-minute sessions even. So you go over that kind of information, as well as if you're thinking about insurance, you're going to go over those payment options for insurance, what your copay is, and what I like to do, this is my personal preference as a therapist, is really get an idea of what your goals are and are they
Mhm.
realistic for therapy. And like some goals might look like I want my boyfriend to change, and I'm like, oh, I can't do that. I can't make your boyfriend change, but I can help you change. So just making sure goals are realistic.
Mhm. Yes, ma'am, and we appreciate that. We got another question from you. What are some creative ways to pay for therapy sessions? You know, it's a lot of that's another stigma. Like I can't afford it, and like I can't even get my mind right because I can't afford it. What are some ways to pay for it, and what are some free therapy options? or what are some of those?
Okay, free therapy. You can get free therapy through the Loveland Foundation. They give off vouchers for
L-
therapists. Loveland.
Loveland. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna put that. We're gonna
Yes.
put that in the comments after the show. We gonna let y'all
Loveland
know.
Foundation. So
Hmm.
that's a good one. Open Path Collective is another
Okay.
one. Open Path Collective. Good Therapy. Therapy for Black girls. Those are some of the lower cost. Well, I shouldn't say that. They have low cost options, no cost and low cost options on those sites. Honestly, because I believe in social justice so much, I've also bartered certain things for with clients. Clients who said, I can't do therapy, but what I can offer is, I'm on a farm and I can offer this for this session. And so some therapists, because of social justice initiatives, and that's part of our profession, they will be
Hmm.
willing to barter, but you have to ask. And if you don't ask, you'll be in the same spot that you were.
That's it, and that's it. And that's what I talked about in the intro about me, man. It was time. You really have to get to that point where you feel like you need to get better. It's
Mm-hmm.
mandatory that I get better. I can't be no further down. It's time. So that's when you'll start. That's when you start. Like when I need to get better, like I need to start right now because you
Yeah.
don't want to feel that way no more. Man. I promise you. I promise you, you're not gonna want to
Right.
feel that way no more. So since I don't see any more. I don't see any more questions in the comments, but it's all good. We're gonna get to our final four. I think you've done this before. You've been on our show before, but we're gonna do it
I
again.
have.
We're gonna get to our final four questions. So it's kind of a hot seat type thing. You know what's going on. You know what's up. You know what's up. You know what's up. So the first question in our hot seat final four is, what is your favorite book to recommend?
Oh, I think I might have already told y'all, but I really like
Mm-hmm.
When the Body Keeps the Score. I really like that one. I'm reading a book called Your Best Thing. You are your own best thing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
really digging that book. So that's a hard one. It's between The Body Keeps the Score and You Are Your Own Best Thing.
Got you. Okay, okay. We love that. Hey, I might go ahead and check them out. So the next
Yes.
question in the final four is: do you have a morning routine or a daily non-negotiable that you just gotta do every day, no matter what?
Ooh, that's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Daily, I have to meditate and or pray every day. That is my non-negotiable. I mean, it's like a switch. I'm not the same person. It's how people say, don't talk to me before coffee. That's how I feel about
Mm-hmm.
meditation and or prayer. So I have to do one, both, or the other.
Okay, okay. I appreciate that. And the third question in our hot seat, the final four, is how do you hold yourself accountable? Are you a one-woman show or you got an accountability group?
Whoo! I used to think that I could be a one woman show, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a lonely road to the top. So I have an accountability group now, which includes my partner. I have a Bible study group. Shout out to Chrisette Michelle's group, the Sistership. They are really, it's a bunch of Black women that I see every Wednesday. And then I also have Stocks Rising. That's my investment group, and it's a bunch of Black folks on there that really want to build their investment portfolio, and that's what we do. So they
Mm-hmm.
hold me accountable in different ways. So I have groups like my spiritual accountability, my life accountability, my
Yep.
investment accountability.
I love it. I love it. I love it. People bringing each other up, people advancing each other. I love it. I love it. And the last question in our final four is what differentiates the unsuccessful people from the successful?
Woo! It's
Hmm.
that motivation. It's
Come on.
motivation. The difference between success and not being successful is somebody ain't stopped. I'm not gonna stop till I win.
That's it. That's short and sweet. That's it. I'm not gonna stop until I win, man. And the thing about it is another thing. Motivation runs out now. Motivations run out. You got to be so disciplined, just like we talked about last week with Josh Posey. Man, you got to be so disciplined in this life. Is when motivation runs out and you don't feel like it that day. You gotta want your end goal so bad, even though you don't feel like it. You got to get up and go do it. When you don't feel like
That
it, just get up and remember why you started. Why did I start? Why did I
yes.
start doing this? I mean, why did I start?
Remember your why.
Why did we start doing the Freedom Finders? Why did we start getting up every day saying we'll be grateful for our positive affirmations and our actions? Why do we start doing all that? It's because it improves our lives and improves the lives of others. So right when I get up, wiping the cold out my eyes, talking about, God
It's not
damn,
the
I'm tired,
cold.
boy. Golly, wipe the cold out my eyes. Shout out to BIG. But when I get up and not want to do nothing, I'll be like, man, I got to get on for the people and myself. Because right after I say what I'm grateful for, that waking up is better than $1 trillion, I feel so much better.
Woo!
Feel so much
That's so
better. Because
good.
come on, man, feel so much better.
That's so
So,
good.
Miss Anisha, we thank you so much. We thank you so much for joining us. I can't express the gratitude enough. This has been amazing, and it has been very educational. You know what I mean? So she said we got Shaq Tinsley in the building. He said, do you have any virtual sessions that you can
I
get to the
do
people?
virtual sessions, and I do virtual sessions. I have room for about two more clients, so yeah, I'm about to fill up. But I do
Mm-hmm.
virtual sessions.
Yeah, go ahead and plug yourself. Go ahead and plug your business. Go ahead and plug your social media. Where can people find more of Miss Anisha Cooper?
Yes, on social media, I'm at Hangin No G HANGINW_Coop, and I am also on there as at the Wishing Well ATL. The Wishing Well ATL is my baby. That's my place. That's where I see my folks.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's really all there is.
Yeah, Shaq. He said sign him up. He was like, hey, he's ready. He's ready for it. I'm telling you, Shaq, man, Miss Anisha get you together. How you like? Oh, is that what I'm doing? Ah, man, that's what I'm doing. Okay, let me go ahead and
Oh
get better.
no.
You know, man. You know what I mean? That's one of my guys. You know what I mean? He gonna get she gonna get you right, man, Shaq. And AD had another question for you. He said, "Do you really sit back on the chase, stare at the ceiling, and empty your thoughts during therapy? Is that something that you really do?"
Oh gosh, you can. Some therapists
Mm-hmm.
do very classic. They have their couch. I've done hypnotherapy myself, and I have a therapist that is a hypnotherapist as well. I really enjoy being able to sit on a couch or lay down on a couch, not really have to say much, and just she talked me through a relaxation. Said, "Oh my gosh." When you don't want to think about nothing, I don't know about y'all, but this pandemic, some days I'm like, I don't want to think about it, but I still want to get something from this. That could be actually really helpful. I know you were making a joke, but
Mm-hmm.
that's actually a session that's like that, but you don't have to do it just like that.
Nah, AD said he had to ask. They had to ask because that's the image they paint. So because some
Yes.
people some people want something different, and there are
Mm-hmm.
so many types of ways of therapy. There is the perfect way for you. There is
Right.
because
There really is.
it's meant for us to get things off our chest. We are not meant to hold in this pain, this trauma that this life pulls us through. We are meant to let it go. We are meant to have a
Ooh,
community around us. We're meant to have a community around us that helps us let that pain go. That's
Chris,
what it is. Come on, come
you
on, come on.
better take up your own collection today, sir.
Come on, am I preaching? Hey, come on
You
now.
might be.
We are
That's so
meant to
good.
let that pain go. I promise we're meant to. We're not meant to hold
That's so
on to
good.
it. We're meant to be
We're not
healthy and free of mind
whole.
human beings. Whole. There it is. We are meant to be whole. And sometimes this life will break some pieces off of you, man. You just gotta build it, pick them pieces back up and put them right back on yourself. Like nothing ever
Yeah.
happened.
Come on.
Come on. Come on, come on, come on.
Work through it.
Come on, come on. So, hey man, we don't got any more questions in the comments, so we go ahead and wrap this thing up. We appreciate you, Miss Anisha. Like I said, like I keep saying the entire show, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. for taking
Of
your time out your
course.
busy schedule. Like I said, you the businesswoman, you got your stuff together now. Come on now. You got
You
everything
know,
together. And we
thank you.
appreciate you. And to the Freedom
Thank
Finder
you.
family, man, thank you for joining us. I know somebody got something out this session. I know somebody did, man. So join us every day for our morning show, our gratitude morning show. Oh, okay, hold on. I was about to end real way too quick. Mama got something. What's going on? This is my mama
Okay.
right here. She said,
Okay.
how often should you take therapy? Weekly?
So it really depends. When you're actually, that's something that you can go over with your therapist on the first session. Often, when I first start seeing people, I recommend weekly, but slowly we build into bi-weekly, and then eventually I have some clients that just check in monthly. So you can really create a schedule that works for you and what you're requiring from therapy.
Got it. Got it. Got it. So see, let's see if we have anything else in the comments. So I do bi-weekly. You know, some weeks we gotta cancel, some weeks some things come up, but I do bi-weekly. I used to do weekly when it first started. I was like, I need to talk to Miss Anisha immediately. We gotta talk about this. I had a horrible week. I was just feeling this way. I need to figure out what's going on. But you know what I mean? When growth happens, you can take a lot more on yourself. Like when those things happen, you know, now that I got 2 weeks away from her, I'm like, okay, whew, I gotta figure out
Yeah.
how to deal with it and use the tools that you use in therapy in your real life. Right when those feelings and
Yes.
those emotions come up, you call them out and you say, you will not have control over me. You have no power over me. I see you there. You're there, but you're not going to control me. You're not going to win this time. I'm in control of this body. I know you're going to be there. Go ahead, sit off to the side. I am in control. That's how you got to tell
Mm-hmm.
them negative feelings and emotions, man. And you got to
Yeah.
identify them. The thing is,
Ooh.
when you ignore them, when you come on, you got to identify when you ignore them and you act like they aren't there. That's when they hound you the most.
That's
That's when them voices
exactly
in
what
your
it.
ear.
I
Mhm.
Yeah, I definitely say think of your emotions like how you would want to talk to somebody that you actually love. And if you always are shunning them away, you're never going to deal with it. It's going to come back
Mhm.
up over and over.
That's it. That's it. It's going to come back over and over until it's addressed. Because
Right.
once
Like
they come up like, hey, I'm here. No, I see you, but go on somewhere. We good over here. We past that.
yes.
We're past that. I know you're gonna come back up and try to. All I gotta do is acknowledge you, and you go away. All right. But the thing about it is, when even in the healing process that I've gone through, you feel like, okay, I feel like I've gotten through that. I've gotten over that. You know, you feel like those feelings shouldn't come up no more. That is false. That's going to those feelings and those memories. There could be something that triggers you like a song, something that triggers you
Yeah.
like a smell, an
Yeah.
image, anything that triggers
You
you that
want to
brings
have
up those.
grace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Having grace with those versions of yourself that come up, and like you said, it's gonna happen. You're not gonna always feel great about every situation, but what you want to do is make sure that you're giving yourself room to grow. You have permission
mm-hmm.
to feel differently about that situation. It can come up, but do you have different tools to deal with it now? Do you have different tools to cope with it?
Anisha, that's good, man. That's the one. That's the thing that I have struggled with probably the most is dealing with past things. Like, hey, man, it's all right. Anisha tells me all the time that your past self didn't have all the tools that you have now. You're not gonna make
Mm-hmm.
those same mistakes now that you know better. So give your past
Yeah.
self grace, man. He was just trying to survive. He was just trying to make it out here on what he knew. If I knew better, I would have done better. But since I didn't know, that's just how it happens. And how I feel over here is the things that have happened in my life or anything that has went on. It was a blessing because it brought me here today talking to Miss Anisha Cooper. Let's give her a hand clap. Woo! Yeah, you like that transition,
Thank
bro. I'm getting
you.
good, bro. Goodness gracious, I'm getting good. Oh man, I'm getting good. But yeah,
Thank you.
but thank you, Miss Anisha. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. So, like I was going to say earlier, I was trying to do it too. We had to put some more gems in y'all head now. but I was trying to do it too early last time. But us at the Freedom Finders, we have a morning show called The Consistent Daily Action, where we come to you every single day, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m., where we go through what we're grateful for, our gratitude, our I am statements, I am, and our actions for the day. And then we sprinkle in a little wise words in there just to let it marinate, just for a little texture. We sprinkle in some wise words, man. So it's a very powerful show. We was on episode 305 today. So that's consistency for yourself, boy. That's consistency. Now
Everything.
you just tuned in to the mental health webinar session 2, Freedom Finders mental health webinar session 2 with Miss Anisha Cooper. This was a great one. I learned so much, and I know everybody in the audience learned so much as well. So we thank you, and for the Freedom Finders, we are signing out, baby.